So Warfare. So what we
Okay.
know is that it's directed by Alex Garland, who did Civil War, and the guy who was his technical consultant on War
Mm.
in that were essentially this is based on a survival of that guy and his troop when they were in a war. I can't remember which one it was. It was definitely in the Middle East. But Sean, I'm going to shut up and let you talk me because you've actually seen this film. So tell us
Yes,
about
yeah.
Warfare.
Okay, so this at the start of the film, it says this film is based on experiences. So it's people's experiences rather than what
Yeah.
how
So
it all
it.
panned out. And as I say, when there's a lot of explosions, you see people with concussion, people with, and I don't normally jump in movies,
Oh
but
yeah.
there is, yeah. I jumped. I jumped at this one. In one point, I jumped. I was like, "Whoa!" It was a noisy point, shall we say? But yeah, it's really really bloody, and it's incredibly. I think it's incredibly of an experience of war, because it's not like particularly they're not like taking back, then they're not taking ground, they're not doing anything like that. It's just the people, and it very much focuses on each of the individual characters. There's wounded ones, and
Yeah.
there's uh yeah,
I mean, I think the word. I mean, I've just seen the trailer for this, but
mm.
the word that came to me from the trailer alone was visceral.
Yeah, really, very much so. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we were talking,
Like
lots
it
of
feels like it just throws you straight in there. It throws you straight in there,
yeah.
says, "Get on with
I
it."
mean, we're talking, limbs flying and like trying to. It's Let's put it this way: it's like similar Black Hawk Down. I mean,
Yeah,
so like Black Hawk Down. When I saw Black Hawk Down, I thought it was sort of quite glamorized, quite,
yeah,
I mean, it was great. It was good on action, but don't know, just a bit.
yeah.
Whereas this is much more, like you say, visceral. Um,
Well,
Lots of,
fair,
and do you know? I really wait. What's his name? Is it Pol? Who's
Will
the chap?
Poulter.
Will
Will
Poulter.
Poulter.
Do you know what?
Yeah,
I've seen him in. He was in that Chicago. He's been in. He's
He was
Death
in
of a
Death of a
Unicorn.
Unicorn.
Yeah,
he
and
was in Death of a Unicorn. He was in Detroit.
he's very very versatile because the
He
first time
is.
I saw him, I think was a film called Voyage of the Dawn Treader or something like that, and I thought
Yes,
he
yes,
was
the
a bit of
Narnia
a
movie. Yeah,
an
the
And
Hardy
the
Narnia
movie.
Nine,
movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's absolutely.
Eustace in it.
What
Pardon?
was that?
Was it
Eustace.
Eustace? Yeah.
Yeah. He has a very odd face, and I don't mean that
But his
badly.
eyebrows, he's just got these
Yeah.
really arched
Oh,
eyebrows.
But he's so versatile. I mean, he
yeah,
played
Yes.
that nasty cop in Chicago.
in
Real
Detroit.
Detroit, sorry, Chicago,
Yeah,
Detroit, just across from each other, I guess. But
yeah.
anyway, so anyway, let's get back to Warfare. Yeah, Warfare, um, really, really good movie, and as I say, it shows that. As I say, when it focuses on, because people are going to get concussed, aren't they? If there's big explosions going off,
Yeah,
and they're going to have
yeah,
that strange stare, and hey, you okay? You okay? Yeah, 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 I'm with it, and they're like, hey, what's going on? And then you've got the medics that, and I did say I went to see this with Happy John. I went to see this with Happy John. He got a little bit confused with all the different call signs, like, oh no, Charlie, we need the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
vac, we need this, that, and the other. And I said to him, I said, oh, they'll be wanting morphine soon. They'll be wanting morphine soon. I said, I can't understand when. And then he goes, oh yeah, get me morphine, help me, blah, blah," and they're trying to search around and scramble
Yeah,
around and stuff. So
yeah.
yeah, I mean, yeah, really, really well acted. And as I say at the end, which I quite like, and they did it with Lone Survivor and a few others, is you actually see the of the
The people
action
who
done. Yeah, from
survived.
the
Yeah,
people.
the people who went through it. Yeah,
Yeah, all the people and they're talking, and you can see they actually show scenes where the guy comes out and he says, this is what happened here. I was here, blah, blah," and
yeah,
so it's really, and I think, as I say, as a real life experience from the soldier's point of views, I do have to say that it was really really good. It's been lucky as well.
mm.
Um, so I would recommend this film. I don't know, as long as you don't mind lots of blood and limbs and
And probably language.
a lot of language as well. Not that
Yeah.
actually, it's funny. I'm thinking of that. Probably not so much in the language, but it is
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
But it didn't come out. Like in some films, it's like, it comes out. It didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't. You didn't really. It probably was, but I wouldn't say consciously that I was thinking of the
Well,
language.
some films you feel like they're doing it for effect, and
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and
yeah,
this was, to me, this was when you see the people and these horrible things have happened to them. It's almost like you can understand why some of these soldiers get that post stress stuff
oh
because
yeah,
I mean, but they keep it together, so they got to keep it together. You know what I mean? And it must
yeah,
at that time with the intensity of a group of people having all that adrenaline rushing, and then you can understand why when they're back in civvy life or whatever. So you could actually see it. You know, these guys trying to fix people up, and so I really, really enjoyed this, as I say. And it even made me jump. I even got a jump, which doesn't normally happen. So.
Well, it sounds like they have actually achieved what they wanted to do, which is they wanted to throw you into like a war battle and say this is how chaotic it is. This is what it's like, and it sounds like the fact that they made you jump seems like they achieved. But how many stars would you give it?
4 stars. 4 stars.
4 stars.
Yeah.
4 stars for Warfare. And speaking about